memories today as we welcome you to Miami Arena in Miami, Florida, as CBS Sports presents a great classic, the 40th annual NBA All-Star Game. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with my partner, Hubie Brown. We look forward to this every year, and of course, all you can do is look at the faces of the players. They'll be smiling, showtime early. As the game goes on, they'll have grimaces, the intensity, because they all want to win the game, really, even though it's an exhibition. Hubie Brown, we have the great stars of Michael Jordan, current, the people like David Robinson, but what about Bird and Magic together again after Bird did not play last year?
Well, you'd think after 10 appearances that it would be boring. They would want the time off. Magic says, I love this game. Nothing is routine. I want to be with the best, and if I wasn't here today, I'd really be upset. Bird, on the other hand, very honored and thrilled that the fans picked him to be in the starting lineup. And he said after a year of misery with injuries, this is a major bonus.
How do you look at this game today?
Definitely by the guards, up-tempo, big pace. They'll decide the MVP.
All right, well, we're going to meet the All-Stars of the East and West coming up here at Miami Arena, so sit back and enjoy a great spectacle, and we'll be back for the introduction in just a moment. And for the introductions of the All-Stars, let's go to the public address announcer, David Axelson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1990 NBA Western Conference All-Stars. Playing in his third NBA All-Star game, the high-scoring forward from the Phoenix Suns and MVP of the 1987 All-Star game, Tom Chambers. One of the leading scorers in the NBA for the past 4 seasons, playing in his 4th All-Star game from the Portland Trailblazers, Clyde Drexler. Making his All-Star debut, the winner of the American Airlines NBA Most Improved Player Award last season from the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Johnson. One of the best rebounding guards in the NBA, as well as a gifted scorer and passer, playing in his 2nd All-Star game from the Denver Nuggets, Lafayette Fat Lever. Playing in his 2nd All-Star game, one of the league leaders in scoring, field goal percentage, and the three-point shooting from the Golden State Warriors, Chris Mullin. The only rookie in this year's All-Star game, he has quickly helped his team become a power in the Western Conference. One of the NBA leaders in scoring, rebounding, and block shots from the San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson. Playing in his 4th NBA All-Star game, this 9-year backcourt veteran has long been considered one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. He is also one of the most accurate as well, with a career field goal percentage of over 50% from the Dallas Mavericks, Rolando Blackman. Elected to the Western Conference All-Star team, but unable to play due to injury, Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz. Now the starting lineup for the Western Conference is selected by fans in the Miller Lite NBA All-Star voting program. At forward, making his 5th consecutive All-Star game appearance, the leading scorer from the Los Angeles Lakers, James Worthy. Also from the Lakers, the team's leading rebounder for the past 3 seasons and one of the league's top defensive players, appearing in his 1st All-Star game, A.C. Green. At center, a 6-time All-Star who leads the NBA in rebounding and block shots and is also among the league leaders in scoring and steals from the Houston Rockets, Hakeem Olajuwon. The only man in NBA history to record more than 1,000 assists in 2 seasons. He currently is leading the league in assists and steals once again, playing in his 2nd All-Star game from the Utah Jazz, John Stockton. Appearing in his 10th All-Star game, last season's Edge NBA Most Valuable Player and the all-time leader in assists in All-Star game competition from the Los Angeles Lakers, Irvin Magic Johnson. Trainer for the Westcott, the San Antonio Spurs, John Anderson. The assistant coaches from the Los Angeles Lakers, Bill Burtka, Randy Funn, and Jim Ian. And the head coach of the Western Conference All-Stars from the Los Angeles Lakers, Pat Riley. And now the Eastern Conference All-Stars, playing in his first All-Star game, the most valuable player of the 1989 NBA playoffs from the NBA champion Detroit Pistons, Joe Dumars. One of the top defensive forwards in the league, as well as a prolific scorer, playing in his sixth All-Star game from the Boston Celtics, Kevin McHale. This guard has emerged as one of the top scorers and outside shooters in the NBA, making his first All-Star game appearance from the Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller. A 14-year veteran who remains one of the steadiest, most productive centers in the NBA, playing in his eighth All-Star game from the Boston Celtics, Robert Parish. One of the top young forwards in the league, he has emerged as both a talented scorer and rebounder, making his All-Star debut from the Chicago Bulls, Scottie Pippen. One of the league's premier sixth men, he led the NBA in field goal percentage last season and also was voted to the NBA's All-Defensive Team. From the Detroit Pistons, Dennis Rodman. Playing his fifth consecutive All-Star game, one of the league's most exciting and acrobatic players from the Atlanta Hawks, Dominique Wilkins. Now starting lineup for the Eastern Conference All-Stars. At forward, a three-time most valuable player and the owner of 3 NBA World Championship rings, playing in his 10th NBA All-Star game from the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird. Appearing in his fourth All-Star game, one of the league's leading scorers and rebounders and the NBA leader in field goal percentage from the Philadelphia 76ers, Charles Barkley. At center, he ranks high among the NBA leaders in scoring, rebounding, and blocked shots, making his first start at 4 All-Star appearances from the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing. An All-Star in each of his 9 seasons, the career All-Star leader in steals and three-pointers from the defending NBA champion Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas. Making his 6th consecutive All-Star appearance, the NBA scoring champion the last 3 seasons, and the league leader again this year, the leading vote getter in the Miller Lite NBA All-Star balloting from the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan. Trainer for the East team for the Miami Heat, Ron Culp. The assistant coaches from the Detroit Pistons, Brendan Malone and Brendan Surr. And the head coach for the Eastern Conference All-Stars from the Detroit Pistons, Chuck Daly. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of our colors by the Miami Killian Senior High School ROTC Color Guard. And now to honor America with the playing of our national anthem, 4-time Grammy Award nominee and Columbia Records recording artist, Branford Marsalis. Ladies and gentlemen, Branford Marcellus.
And we're about to get underway for the 40th annual NBA All-Star Game. Back with the opening tip after this. Back at the Miami Arena, the officials for this All-Star Game. Earl Strom in his 33rd and final year as a professional referee, working with Bill Oakes and Paul Mahalik. The West won last year, 143 to 134. It wasn't as close as the score indicated in Houston. And since 1984, the East and West, Hubie, have won in alternate years. So we'll see if the West can make it 2 in a row.
Should be a great one.
The East is in white. The West is in the dark uniforms. They're red. Hakeem Olajuwon will jump against Patrick Ewing. These some unusual numbers worn by some of the players. Ewing, for example, wearing number 3. There are 3 players on the East who wear 33. Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, and Ewing. Birds has seniority. Underway controlled by the West.
Well, early we should look for the players to stay within a few basic set plays, but the game primarily will be up-tempo freelance.
Olajuwon gets the rebound on Worthy's miss. James Worthy with the ball. Magic Johnson and John Stockton at guard. We don't know how long Stockton will play. He's been really bothered by the virus. Hospitalized during the week. It is still in the possession of the West, and they have 9 seconds to try a shot. And usually the beginning of these games, we see if there's any sloppiness, we see it early on.
Well, they only get an opportunity to practice for 1 hour, and half of it is shooting practice. So they go with their instincts today, Dick.
Good defense by Ewing on Olajuwon. 2 of the great centers in the NBA. Now Larry Bird fakes a 3. How about that for instincts and freelance?
The master at the head fake. Very limited quickness with the feet, but
Magic goes in. He'll get credit for the basket. Goaltending called against Patrick Ewing.
we're seeing some high wire acts already defensively, like nobody is going to play defense here today, but we seem to have some erasers.
Well, Dennis Rodman says, I want to turn this into a defensive game, and we'll see him come off the bench for the East. Triple team on Jordan. Blind pass thrown away. 3 men were around Michael Jordan. Here's AC Green. Barkley clears. Larry Bird played only 6 games last year with the surgery. And an offensive foul called against Charles Barkley.
On this replay, you'll see Jordan come around the pick, catch the ball, but watch Barkley now. See, he stopped moving. If he would have continued, he had a dunk.
I don't even know whether the regular Chicago Bulls team would have gotten that pass. Worthy inside again. Olajuwon. Here's Stockton driving the baseline and lays it in. John Stockton, who leads the NBA in assists and steals. Thomas puts it up against the double team. 2 times he's won the MVP in this game. World champion Ronnie Lott. You know, we saw Ronnie Lott in the stands, and Lott said after the Super Bowl win by the 49ers how much he has looked upon the Lakers' domination to spur on himself and the Niners.
Well, what did Al Davis in football say about Magic Johnson? There's no player that dominates professional sports as a winner more than Magic Johnson.
Team looking for help, throws it into the hands of Barkley. Here's a 3-on-2.
Patrick's been tough.
Jordan. Magic starts to break the other way, and the East better get down in a hurry. Worthy. Patrick wants to win the MVP award by getting 90 rebounds in the first quarter.
I'd say he's been on 3 shot blocks. He's running from end to end, and he is skying for the loose ball.
New 24-second clock on the kickball. 3 members of the Lakers in the West lineup. Bird. Magic the rebound. Stockton filling the lane is Hakeem Olajuwon. No foul. Barkley was defending on the play.
Great block by Charles. Came a long way.
Isaiah, everything but the basket with a good move. Stockton gets by Bird. Here's Magic. Goes for 3. And he's got it. And it's now 7-2 in favor of the West.
Well, for people who really aren't zeroed in on Magic, that's his new shot.
And it's Jordan's new shot too, Hubie.
Well, a little touche that time.
And Michael has a smile, and he says to Magic, "You're going to try it again?" AC Green rims the hoop. Ewing with another rebound. Barkley one-on-one against AC Green. Puts his way in, gets the basket, and draws the foul. Gives you an example of how tough Philadelphia has been because of that play.
You'll see right now, Charles is excellent with a lot of moves. Notice how he moves his body right into the chest of AC Green.
Charles Barkley.
And you'll see watch Charles come in here now and block this shot on Olajuwon. Now, you know, people look at Charles, they know he's 6'5", he's 253 pounds, and people have a tendency to underestimate how high he can elevate, especially when he wants to block a shot.
You know, Jimmy Lynam said, everyone talks about Ewing and Magic and Jordan MVP. He said, what about Charles Barkley? You can just put down 30 and 10 each game. No foul. Worthy looked to Billy Oakes. They said he got a piece of the ball.
Who's that guy 3 who got another shot block?
Now let's Ewing offensively. Boy, the East has missed a bundle of inside shots, but look at Patrick inside.
Excellent move by James now going to the basket. Here comes Patrick. There it is.
Ewing hits the shot outside. And the East leads 10-7. 2 rebounds and 2 block shots already for Patrick Ewing.
You have to keep an eye on Stockton today because he is very weak from the fluke.
Green fighting for the offensive rebound. Larry Bird. Jordan. Good move around Magic. Great pass to Barkley. Lost the ball on the line. And they'll give it over to the East.
Out of bounds, East ball.
Outstanding defensive play by Stockton. Watch, here comes the pass now. Now watch the strip right there. John Stockton coming in. Fearless, by the way, and taking on Barkley.
Here's Michael Jordan. Gets the ball back. Olajuwon got a piece of it. And they're going to call Akeem, or is it Magic, with a foul on Patrick Ewing. Chuck Daly's enjoying his first All-Star game in this first quarter action. It's on Olajuwon.
Now watch the attack by Olajuwon right here. The people in the building are thoroughly enjoying the opening of this game because we have seen a number of shots erased and quite a few fadeaway jump shots because of the fear of the intimidation.
The first New York Knicks to start an All-Star game since Bob McAdoo back in 1977. And he has become the focal point of the New York Knicks. Magic and Jordan with a little banter out in the backcourt.
Well, Patrick is physically fit 100%. In the last couple of years, for the first time in his career, people forget the first 2 years, a number of operations on the knees, and it really hampered his play.
Lead is 5 for the East with 7:10 to go and a turnover. Ewing, though, can't save it.
In a situation like that, there's an example of 2 players who have never played together before. Stockton is coming off that pick and roll. His first look is to give it up on the roll man. AC Green was trying to hold on to that pick a little too long.
The East has scored 10 straight points. Nearly 5 minutes elapsed in the opening quarter. Worthy. And nowhere to go with it, and hits the shot over Larry Bird. Now that breaks a 10-point run by the Eastern All-Stars. Barkley on top. Worthy gambled. Isaiah Thomas, right place at the right time.
Look out.
Out of bounds, and it'll go over to the East. And a timeout. One of the most briskly paced All-Star games that we have seen in the last 5 or 6 years, and we'll be back. Willis Reed was a Rock of Gibraltar in his playing days. Of today's big men, Akeem Olajuwon catches his eye.
When I look at Akeem, I look at a player that I wished I was as good as quick as mobile as, because I think he has great mobility, great reflexes, block shots, can run the floor, and really can score the basketball. I think he is an incredible player. He plays beyond his size and his height, and he will be a remarkable, he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Game Olajuwon leads the NBA in those categories, and it's been tougher lately. He knows what it's like to play for an NBA Finals, but Houston has fallen back since those days.
Well, he's been outspoken, and it's getting notoriety over the fact that, you know, he might want to be traded, but I think that Houston is going to handle all of that.
Stockton is guarding Thomas. Ewing looking to set a screen outside. It drops for Isaiah. All of the, well, 4 of the 5 East team players have scored with the exception of Larry Bird. No substitutions yet. Everyone's going to get a lot of chances to play. Jordan gets the block. And Magic smartly went down court to make sure that Michael wouldn't release for the easy layup, but it's going to be East ball anyway. And now we have some reinforcements. Kevin McHale of the Boston Celtics. Joe Dumars of the Detroit Pistons. And Robert Parish come in. Barkley and Ewing go out, along with Isaiah Thomas. So 2 Celtics have come in the game. McHale and Parish. Magic with a great pitch to Olajuwon, and he's fouled.
Early on, the coaches are trying to get in as many players as possible in that first quarter, and they'll keep moving things around. In the last quarter, try to find the 5 best.
Michael Jordan. I have a hunch Michael will be in there at the end, don't you?
Maybe so. I think he's demonstrating. Oh, yes! Oh!
If there's a guy that wants to entertain in this game, Magic's the lead man. Jordan comes in. You wonder if he's going to match Magic shot for shot. 7 points for Jordan, 7 for Magic. And now Magic comes back again.
Just doing what I do best. Showtime.
I can do anything better than you. McHale posting up against Chambers. Here's Magic pushing it up again with 4:35 to go in the first. Worthy swoops in. And Drexler tries to keep it alive, and he does sufficiently for the West to get a foul.
Enjoy Magic Johnson. Here's your give. Bring it back. Lay it up and in. At the other end, Michael made a great move. Now watch Magic come on the spin move and lay the ball up. He's saying right now, look, Michael, you can match me, but then again, remember, I'm the point guard on this team, and I'm going to execute at the other end.
Foul is on McHale. Here's Tom Chambers. He's in there along with David Robinson. Our first look at David Robinson, the sensational rookie from the San Antonio Spurs. There's Robinson, who has exceeded everyone's expectations so far and leading the Spurs to first place in the Midwest Division. Chris Mullin is also in there. Chambers teamed with Kevin Johnson, his teammate with the Phoenix Suns in the backcourt with Clyde Drexler. Dominique Wilkins and McHale are the forwards for the East. Parish the center. Reggie Miller in his first All-Star game, and Joe Dumars in the backcourt. Miller fires a 3. Great outside shooter, and the rebound is by Chris Mullin. Drexler lost his footing. Didn't matter. And David Robinson, one of the quickest centers to come along in a long time.
He's just so smooth, and he has the ability to hang and split the defenses and create something, and he makes it look easy.
Dumars sandwiched by Chambers and Kevin Johnson. McHale. I heard the foul all the way over here. Alley-oop doesn't go to David Robinson.
Are you auditioning for Earl Strom's number for next year? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I want to try 33 years like he did. East by 4. They've got the ball. Dominique. And he scores. Dominique, the slam dunk champion, gets his first basket. Here's Chambers. Goes by Reggie Miller. Chambers was the MVP back in '87. He wasn't even on the original roster. He was a late pick, became the hero. Kevin Johnson and Mullin, 2-on-1 now, and Parish commits the foul with 3:16 to go in the opening period.
You can't tell me that Chuck Daly is worried. Is he worried right now?
No, I mean, as a coach, you want to win. I remember when Pat Riley lost, 4 times. He couldn't win, and they say, Pat, when are you going to win as an all-star coach? And I think it got under his skin a little bit because so successful in the playoffs, couldn't win as an all-star, and has won 3 games. All of them, by the way, in domes. He's won at Seattle, Indianapolis, and Houston. He's never won in an arena like this. Just starting. We're in the first period. The East leads the West. The 40th annual NBA All-Star Game from Miami Arena. One of the 4 successful expansion entries in the league. Joe Dumars hits the three-point basket.
Dumars for 3 from Reggie Miller.
Joe Dumars just does what has to be done. You know what I mean? He just eases around, does the defense, gets some boards, makes the passes, hits the open shots.
And right now, overplayed Chambers and caused a turnover there.
The early defense, Dick, has really been spectacular today.
People don't expect to see that kind of defense in a game like this. Well, we're a little past the halfway point in this season, and let's maybe take a look and see the most improved teams in the NBA. San Antonio, 19 games better than a year ago. Indiana doing extremely well. How about the LA Clippers with all of their injuries? And Portland right behind the Lakers. But San Antonio has been the talk of the league. David Robinson, of course, the top man. And Hubie, people wonder, how can a team go from 21 wins to what they have right now, which is 32 so fast?
Two great rookies in David Robinson, who is a superstar, along with Sean Elliott. But then you add in a trade a Maurice Cheeks and then also a Terry Cummings, and you have instant leadership and major point production. And then, let's face it, one of the best coaches in basketball, Larry Brown.
Yeah, last year was his first losing year as well. Wilkins defended well. I think Drexler and David Robinson in there.
Yes, well, Drexler came out of the mezzanine to get that one.
David Robinson with a circus move, and it's going to be the East possession. The East leads in the series 25-14. And there is bragging rights and there's pride involved between the two conferences, as you have in the finals. McHale. Kevin McHale.
From Dumars.
6th man again. Remember, he was the top 6th man and became a starter. Now he's coming off the bench to good success in Boston. Winding down to 2 minutes to go in the opening period. Drexler is left open. The glide misses from out there. And David Robinson knocks it away, and still in possession of the East. But you saw some Robinson quickness and some Parish experience running the floor at the other end.
I love what Parish says. This game means a lot to me because I don't see too many left.
Yeah, he's got to appreciate every one of them. David Robinson, foul going to the hoop.
Watch David Robinson on the baseline now, go for the steal and the tap. Mullins, if an opportunity, the catch was there, you had the nice shot opportunity, possibility.
There's David Robinson's very proud parents watching things. You know, even Don Nelson, they tell me, has been known to whisper the name Russell, talking about David Robinson, a left-hander. A lot of similarities with quickness and shot blocking abilities. No one has ever even whispered that name, but Don Nelson has, I understand, out of Golden State.
Well, an awful lot of people thought that he would be a scorer. They thought that he could rebound, but the shot blocking and the quickness of foot have really surprised and opened the eyes of many people.
Foul is on Kevin Johnson. So, talk about a rookie like Robinson and mention of Bill Russell in any way, shape, or form. That says a lot. Team fouls are 4 apiece right now. Minute and a half remaining in the opening period. The East leads by 9.
I really am impressed with the defense and the aggressiveness of the players there.
Parish, great pass from Dumars, tipped in by McHale. But you know, you say you're impressed by the defense. When you have a Dumars and people like that on the floor, you're going to see outstanding defense. David Robinson double teamed inside. Chambers. And on the break the other way, Dominique.
That was a replay from last night.
What won it for him.
That's right.
Drexler. Little finger roll action and the rebound by McHale. Under a minute to go in the first period. Dumars inside. Thread the needle so beautifully to Robert Parish you wouldn't believe.
That was on the money with some pizzazz.
You're right, complete player. Defense, passing. Now he scores a lot more. Thrown away by Kevin Johnson, and with 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the East has opened up a 13-point lead. West has turned it over 8 times in this quarter. 18 on the shot clock. Here's Reggie Miller. And the first Indiana Pacer since Don Busey and Billy Knight were on the All-Star team 13 years ago.
One of the best pure shooters we have in all of basketball today. Not only the three-point shot, but we're talking all-around game and an outstanding foul shoot. Outstanding.
9 on the shot clock, differential of about a second and a half, maybe 2. Now it's 4, they're running down. Chambers fouled, and it's going to be Reggie Miller with a foul, and they had 2 seconds on the shot clock. Downtown Freddie Brown. He knew how to shoot the threes even before they had the threes in this sport, huh?
Listen, Freddie would have a number of records if the three-point shot was in when he was playing. Freddie was one of the very few guys in this league who could catch a pass going towards the sideline out of bounds, turn in midair, and hit nothing but the bottom of the net. And he wouldn't do it one time a game. It might happen 5 or 6.
Exciting player. West has missed 6 of 9 free throws thus far. Combine that with the turnovers, and now you see why they're losing by 15. Now it's a 14-point game. 4.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wilkins gets the shot off and hits the three-pointer with 1/10 of a second left, and you know you can't score in 1/10, can you?
By the way, was that a set play?
All right, we had an exciting first period, and the East has rolled out to a 40-23 lead, but it's just the beginning of an exciting all-star afternoon here on CBS. Welcome to the All-Star game as we start the second period with the East leading the West 40-23, and we have already had a bushel of spectacular plays.
Let's appreciate some nice passing. Here's Parish picking out Dominique, running after a field goal was made. Beautiful look. Now we want to follow this up by watch the quickness and the rope type of a chest pass by Dumars to Parish. There it is. And when you give it up and make the play, it's nice to get one back in return.
These are the only All-Stars who have been in this game at age 36 or more, and it's a small group, just 6 players, and Robert Parish is one of them. We start the second quarter. The East finished on an 18-4 run to take their 17-point lead. Dominique Wilkins brings the ball up. He's got Joe Dumars with him, Reggie Miller, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parish, the same 5 that finished for the East in the first quarter. And coming around the screen, it's Dumars.
This group that's on the floor for the East right now, they're knocking down every open jump shot and making it look easy.
Rolando Blackman has come in for the West All-Stars. He was a late addition when Karl Malone came up lame. There's Blackman from the corner, and he remembers what happened with Chambers, a late addition. You can be an MVP as an 11th hour guy.
Like he said, have suitcase, can pack the sneakers very easy. He said he was thrilled to be added to this team.
Parish fakes Robinson out of his shoes. Well, he's 36 years old, and David will learn that.
Yeah, but that looked like Robert of old. He misses the shot right there for the offensive rebound.
Now let's see Robinson on the other end. Okay, there's some quickness inside against Parish. Averaging 23 plus, nearly 12 rebounds is Robinson. Kevin McHale, and that's a new thing for Kevin McHale.
That's absolutely right. It's amazing. He's almost taking 1 or 2 a ball game now and making them.
Slapped away. That's the 9th turnover against the West. Whoever thought we'd ever see Kevin McHale as a long-range bomber?
Well, they say you change your game as you get older, Dick.
Wilkins around the screen. Kevin Johnson feeds Chambers, his teammate in Phoenix, and he lays it in.
This guy is one of the best ever in the game. Tommy Chambers, off the dribble. You have a tendency to forget that he is 6'10". He handles the ball so well with either hand.
8 points. He's the leading scorer in the game right now, Tom Chambers. McHale, Chambers won't let him get a 3 off.
Look at Chief. Chief says, I'm doing this myself.
And the basket counts and a foul. I'll tell you, David Robinson did everything he could to move the Chief out, and the Chief got it. There's Sky Walker, last year's slam dunk champion in the New York Knicks.
The Patton Robert Parish fadeaway, but watch the arc on this shot.
Today's game is being broadcast.
Beautiful.
Looks like he wants to play in a few more of these. Jerry West, a true legend, exhibited the classy two-way style seen in few guards. Joe Dumars is one who brings West out of his seat.
I admire Joe Dumars. I think he is one of the really, truly great guards that we have in the league who gets no credit. And the understated part of his game is his total game. Defensively, he's tremendous. He's the one guy in the league, when I watch Detroit play Chicago, he's the one guy in the league who Michael Jordan looks like he's not going to run completely wild against. He does things.
Very close. He gave him his championship ring to Joe, and he said, when I made the All-Star team, my dad said, I'm real proud, son. How's your puppy? He's got a new dog at home. He says, all I had to hear is, real proud, son. That's all I needed. That's Joe Dumars.
Well, the fellow that just admired his athletic talent, Jerry West, being one of the greatest ever, is one of the harshest critics that we have of players today. And when he throws out flowery words like that, you know that you are one of the best in this game.
Lafayette Lever of the Denver Nuggets, number 11, has come into the game. Here's David Robinson, and the rebound by Rodman. We have Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. And now we have Olajuwon from Blackman to score. So the East with some substitutions. Isaiah Thomas back in the game. He's got Pippen, Rodman, Parish, and Dominique Wilkins. Pippen playing the guard position. Wilkins slices his way in. Tipped up. And Rodman very nearly made a great play, but the basket anyway to Parish, who's in double figures.
Yeah, but that exemplifies Rodman. He creates so many little things that are not in the final statistics.
Blackman going to the basket, will get it, and will draw the foul.
Now watch as this shot goes up. See Rodman, he's coming from behind the backboard, keeps the ball alive, allows Parish to get the basket.
And speaking of Parish, he sits down, having scored 10 points and 2 rebounds and a block. Patrick Ewing back in. He was the starter for the East today. Rolando Blackman on the line. Well, down in Miami, and you know, many of the Dolphins are going to be here, including their outstanding quarterback, Dan Marino. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown here at Miami Arena, 51-34. Great give and go from Ewing to Scottie Pippen.
You have to admire the East. They're doing an excellent job. It just isn't one pass and a shot. They're distributing the ball beautifully, making the extra pass.
Knocked away by Ewing, and Thomas couldn't control. You know, even though this game right now is a wide margin game, you were telling me earlier you have a different feeling from last year, which was a blowout to this, right?
Well, we're seeing the exciting play. The guys are making shots, but the defense is right up there challenging everything, and you can feel the intensity level. The people here are in this game and appreciating the defense.
Olajuwon gets it. Rodman wouldn't let Blackman get the shot off. It's tipped up and in, however. Let's see who gets credit for that basket. It'll be David Robinson. Dennis Rodman could set history. If a guy ever wins an MVP for his defensive play, that'll be a first in this All-Star game.
Well, he's the only second-round draft choice in this game and the only NAIA player in this game.
Good point. They produce some outstanding players. Mullen gets it ahead of Wilkins. Notice how he used his body to keep Wilkins at bay.
Well, that's been 2 moves to the basket by Chris on the break, and he's played the rim beautifully. He's run the defensive guy right off.
Well, that's something Dennis Rodman that wasn't in the script, was it?
All right, in the locker room, we were kidding him before the game. We wanted him to take a 3-point shot. We told him no passing today. Every time you touch it, shoot it, so the people have no idea who you are. There we have Rodman now with the guy with the quick fade. Look at him smacking around. There he is, moving and grooving. You'd think this was a major playoff game.
One of only 4 non-starters ever to make the All-Star game. Kevin McHale, John Havlicek, and Bobby Jones, the other 3. Michael Jordan has come in for the East. James Worthy for the West. Robinson banging bodies inside. Slapped away, and here's Michael.
Rodman had a charge that time. You know, for a lot of people say, what's Rodman doing in this game? He was picked unanimously by the coaches.
Pippen misses a 3 from the corner. So they do appreciate defense and offensive rebounding. Lafayette Lieber hits the basket. Lieber, by the way, who always deserves to be in a game like this, failed to finish in the top 10 of Western guards in the fans' voting, but the coaches knew.
Oh, let's say this young man, here he is. He's averaging over 8 rebounds a game, and he's a 6'2" guard at most.
Jordan trying for the steal. Here's Olajuwon baseline against Pippen. Slapped away by Ewing.
No place to go.
Here we have a real battle. Rodman and Robinson. Watch this. Oh! Get him out of there.
But where was the charge call?
We'll send him to the break for that.
Yeah.
Back in Miami at the 40th All-Star game, you know, the only All-Star who's missing here today is Karl Malone, the Utah star who sprained his ankle, his right ankle, last Thursday. I spoke with Karl a couple of hours ago, and he said that he's getting treatment for his right ankle twice a day. They've taken off the soft cast and replaced it with an air cast. He said that he wasn't sure if he were going to watch the game because it might make him a little sentimental, but he said his pregame pick for MVP is David Robinson with a sentimental pick for John Stockton.
All right, Leslie, I just hope that was a 3-minute call. You know, when you call out in Utah, the tolls could be pretty high out there. You know, there was a lot of controversy over that, and no one argues that Karl Malone's the best power forward. But Pat Riley had the feeling that maybe A.C. Green got shortchanged in this whole thing.
Well, naturally, he has a very big feeling for A.C. Green. People kind of forget that he was on a second-team all-defensive team, plus he's one of the best rebounders in this game.
Olajuwon goes in and will have a foul. In fact, Pat Riley said, he says, I hope that A.C. Green wins the MVP award, and I'm going to do everything I can that he does.
Well, when you win as many championships as the Lakers, you have to have intangible people, the guys that do all the dirty work, the rebounders, the defensive people up front, the guys who get all the loose balls. So he has a very, very warm feeling for A.C. Green, and he does not like to have people taking shots at him. Now, we all know Karl Malone, #1 best forward in basketball today, by the players, by the fans, by coaches, by everyone.
And you know, the other thing is, what's wrong with having a guy who never expected to be an all-star, works hard, has the great work ethic as A.C. Green does, then gets the reward. Jordan. Isaiah Thomas change hands, and A.C. Green gets the block on the play. Filling the lane, he's got Lieber and Worthy. Worthy goes in. Pippen seemed to have position, but you know it's the All-Star game, so we're not going to overdo it with the foul.
And Rodman came in from the right side of the lane, skied, and gets this block. Now watch him. Look at Pippen looking for the charge, but watch the block. Here he comes.
Jordan tips it out. As far as the personal fouls are concerned, no one on the West has as many as 2. Kevin McHale is the only player in the game with 2 personal fouls.
Because of the short periods of time that the players play in an all-star game, the game is played in peaks and valleys.
Lieber gets credit for a 2-point hoop. Leading scorers, Robert Parish is 10 for the East. Chambers leads with 8 for the West. Ewing has it blocked by Olajuwon, and Rolando Blackman comes back with a jump shot. It's 55-45. They've cut the lead down to 10. It was 20 for the East.
Is Rolando Blackman making a statement that maybe he should have been voted into this game?
You remember the game he was in when he hit those great free throws in Seattle? Now an offensive foul called. It'll be against Patrick Ewing. So now the West has a chance to come back and make more of a game of this, although it's been really an exciting end-to-end affair with, as you pointed out, great defensive plays.
We are having an outstanding matchup, Patrick Ewing and Olajuwon. This is their second time out on the floor, and they've already come up with 2 beautiful plays.
Blackman try to get it into Worthy. Jordan saves, loses. And Worthy couldn't hit the shot inside. It might have cut it to 8. Oh, look at this! Jordan to Rodman. That ought to make every highlight film tonight.
Well, as Rodman was motioning to the people in the stands, A.C. Green jumps out of bounds. You'll see this gorgeous pass. Here comes Rodman. There's the dunk. Rodman is showing to the fans. A.C. Green is trying to make a pass, and we have a forced turnover there.
4:40 remaining in the first half. Lieber down the middle, Pippen the rebound. Chicago Bulls. In your face, Scottie Pippen, the first teammate of Michael Jordan ever to make an All-Star team. Worthy. Ewing. West has had a chance to cut it to 8 points with a couple of plays inside. And Jordan travels. How about Scottie on this move?
This is Pippen at his best. He's one of the greats in the game today that we have in elevating and dunking. Oh, look who is here.
Ray Floyd, the great golfer, and the man who invented elevating and dunking.
Dr. J and Bob Pettit, the only 2 guys ever to start in 11 straight All-Star games.
Ewing comes out to meet Green. Lever, short for the 3. Green can't control it. Let me ask you a quiz here. Who's the only East player who has not scored in the game?
Are we going to have prizes? All right, I'm going to say the guy that everyone picked as one of the greatest shooters ever in the game, ever played the game, Larry Bird.
That's right. Isn't that something? He hasn't scored yet. John Stockton comes back in the game, replacing Laviette Lever. So Stockton feels well enough to move along. He had the virus and flu. He's in the hospital earlier in the week. Spent most of this weekend in his hotel room. He didn't want to miss the game. Hakeem blocked by Ewing.
Tell me this isn't a battle.
Third block by Ewing, and it's still going to be the West ball. And you know, there's a little personal battle going on. Olajuwon has been the kingpin at center. Now Ewing, people talking about MVP award for Patrick. Olajuwon can't take that sitting down.
Well, Olajuwon is saying, I have been the first team All-NBA center 3 straight years.
Rick Barry, who perhaps had the greatest floor game from the forward position, admires the things Larry Bird does and says their games are not unlike each other.
In watching Larry play, I feel there are some definite similarities between us. Probably the passing aspect and understanding the game and being able to maximize the skills and abilities that you have. He's a team player, and I believe that Larry has proven that you don't have to have all of those incredibly gifted skills of some of these great natural athletes who play the game and still be able to be the greatest player who played the game in that position during your time.
The interesting statement there is we're talking about 2 players who are noted for scoring first. And here we have Larry. You'll see that he's just a shade off in his shooting percentage, and it's really bothering him. But he's averaging almost 9 assists a game while he's scoring 22 points this year.
So he'll do it some way. Olajuwon misses the rebound by Isaiah Thomas with 3:15 to go in the first half.
Well, the great ones, the legends in the game, when their game is off, they make other contributions.
Green defending Barkley. Olajuwon got his hand in there. Barkley said, I'm going to go up with it. And they're going to have a jump ball between Barkley and Hakeem. The chief guru of the Los Angeles Raiders, who knows where they'll be? Oakland, Al Davis, and behind him, hello again, everybody. Howard Cosell, speaking of sports. He's got the best seat in the house here.
Right center court, right in the middle. Looking good.
With his lovely wife, Emmy. Magic Johnson posting up Michael Jordan here. Magic has 9 to lead the West scorers. There's the hook shot. And Olajuwon is fouled by Ewing from behind. I asked Magic yesterday when he was practicing the hook shot. I said, you ever hit a big hook shot in a big game? He says, you must be thinking of the bald guy. I said, no, I mean you. And of course, he didn't want to talk about the big game against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals back in '86, Game 4. Remember the baby hook?
As long as Magic is on the move coming into the lane, it's amazing the high percentage that he knocks down that hook. It's more difficult when you're in a standing position and trying to do it from a post-up spot.
How about how the Lakers are doing without the ball guy Kareem this year?
Yeah, well, they've shifted, made a little emphasis on posting up a fellow by the name of Erwin Johnson, and also going to that guy Worthy, the quiet assassin, a little bit more.
That's right. Here's Charles Barkley, an assassin in his own right. 61-46 the score. Less than 2.5 to play in the opening first half. Chambers. Rebound by Michael Jordan. 20-point lead by the East was cut to 10. Now it's 16. Jordan knew he was going to be short with it. Oh, yes. Wow. Barkley from Jordan.
At the end of an all-star game, you want the other players to appreciate your all-around ability and passing.
Coming right back is Magic. A three-point basket. He's got 12 points. Parish still the scoring leader for the East with 10. He's on the bench right now. Barkley, and a great pass by Isaiah Thomas. Charles in charge still. Now a turnover. Stockton. He's got Chambers and Drexler. And stripped out of his hands by Isaiah Thomas. Loops it in, alley-oop. Ewing, and Barkley converts.
Stu Jackson, wherever he is sitting right now, almost lost it when he saw that one go up. Here you have it. Look at the eyes. Beautiful dish off. Enough said.
Yeah. 22nd timeout called by the West. How about that Pacific Division, where the LA Lakers, playing without Kareem, have the best record in the NBA, but right on their tails, the Portland Trail Blazers, Phoenix, and then the have-nots after that. But Golden State got off to a slow start. Clippers have been injury-riddled. How do you look at the Lakers? Many people are saying, hey, it's LA and Detroit. They're headed for the finals again.
Well, the Lakers once again have another team breathing right on them in Portland, but Portland has a major disadvantage. They must make up 6 additional road games in the second half after the All-Star break. Pat Riley, talking to him before in the locker room, said the first 2 weeks after the All-Star break are going to mean a lot for us with the Lakers. We're playing the majority of games versus teams of over 500 records.
Got him next week at the Forum against the Celtics. Chambers. And it was Ewing who made him change his shot. West kept possession nonetheless with 7 on the shot clock. Clyde Drexler. Here's Akeem. And the rebound by Ewing. The West has just not got good luck shooting. They're shooting 43%. Now we have 45 seconds to go in the first half, and they'll turn it over to the West. Coming up at halftime, an update on that controversy surrounding that shocking loss by Mike Tyson in Tokyo in that heavyweight fight. That's right, you missed it. He'll beat Magic Johnson with his second three-point basket. And here comes Magic again with 32 seconds.
Oh, yes.
Try to get it to Drexler behind the back. Actually, Magic has 3 three-point baskets. Lead is 13 now by the East. They have the ball. 18 on the shot clock. Seven on the shot clock now for the East, and Bird loses it. Wild pass. West is turning the ball over a bundle 15 times this first half, and the period ends, the half ends, an entertaining first half. The East leads, but we have seen a tremendous all-star display. Star game, and at the half, the East leads the West 65-52. Who would have ever figured that Larry Bird would have no points, Magic Johnson no assists at the half, yet both of these guys are helping their teams. Magic with 15, including 3 three-pointers.
You know, it's nice. Magic is at the top of his game without any assists. But Bird is doing so many other things. The extra passes, the good defense, helping out on the boards, etc. It's nice.
How about the East centers? Patrick Ewing with 6 rebounds and 3 blocked shots all over the place, and Robert Parish off the bench with 10 to lead the East.
Well, Olajuwon struggling, only 1 for 8 from the field, but how about the 9 rebounds?
So these guys, if one isn't working, something else in their game will. Jordan takes the first shot of the second half. Rebound Bird, Thomas, Ewing, and the rebound AC Green. Here's Rolando Blackman, who starts the second half along with Magic Johnson at guard. Up front it's AC Green, James Worthy, and Akeem Olajuwon. The West with the same 5 which started the game. Jordan and Thomas at guard. Bird, Barkley, and Ewing up front. AC Green, short with it. Thomas, 3-on-1 fast break for the East. It's Barkley, uncontested. Charles has 11 points, and now he is the leading scorer for the East. Olajuwon setting the screen.
How about this mismatch?
How about another? He's got 4 3-point baskets. Does Irvin Johnson. Remember in the beginning they said he couldn't hit the outside shot? How about Ewing running the floor to get the basket?
Well, Ewing said, hey, I just gave him a 3. I'm going down the other end. And everyone looked up the floor. Nice.
You talked to Patrick briefly during the halftime intermission. He is really enjoying himself. Blocks Olajuwon's shot.
Yeah, I looked at Ewing. I said, you know, you're struggling with your shot. Relax. I said, you two guys are 2 Brahmas down in that painted area. He laughed.
Magic fights his way. He's still coaching Ewing a little bit here.
No, he doesn't need my coaching. As a matter of fact, I might have held him back.
69-57, and the lead is 12. Bird.
Yes.
Thomas. Beautiful. So that's what Bird's doing instead of scoring. He's making everyone else look good. Jordan is on Magic. That's a good matchup. And Isaiah Thomas. Another West turnover to Larry Bird. And Bird will have a chance to score on the free throw line.
Look at Magic there, showing a little facial right down on Zeke. He's taking him down inside. I think they've posted one another up a few times out on each other's playgrounds. Here we have Bird. Now watch the last second pass. There it is. Beautiful. Zeke running without the ball.
Orlando Blackman on the foul. Here's Larry Bird. You may not realize this, but he has attempted the most 3-point shots in the history of the All-Star game coming into this game.
Well, you know, he's struggling on the line. He's only shooting 95% this season on the foul line.
And of course, he's got that big string. 68 in a row.
Challenging Calvin Murphy.
Hakeem saves it into the hands of Jordan, and Magic with a very smart foul because he saw the East on a fast break. He committed the foul on Jordan.
See, a part of Magic's game, you know, is this 3-point shooting.
Fine quarterback of the Houston Oilers, Warren Moon. Disappointing finish for them in the AFC this year.
You know, for a lot of people who haven't been seeing the Lakers much, you know, he is second in 3-point attempts in this game for the West.
Well, maybe number 33 is going to get cooking now. He has scored 4 points quickly in this third quarter. 17-point lead. David Robinson back in there, misses the baseline. Barkley runs in, and they'll call the foul against the defender, Worthy.
Foul's called on James Worthy, his first, the team's third.
Here we have Larry just cruising out there, doing his thing. Little head fake, which he does at his best. And then little shot, little horse time maybe. But Charles, on the open floor, Charles just loves to have body contact with people and then decide which way he's going with the shot.
Last time he was in Miami, Hubie, he was bumped from his hotel by the President of the United States. He says, why are they bumping me? He's been in the league only 1 year. I've been in 6.
Yes.
Bump him. It was down to 12 in the East. He's gone on a pretty good run now to open it up to a 19-point lead. Magic Johnson, who has 4 3-point baskets, misses that one. Thomas, great pass to Ewing. David Robinson.
Patrick got caught with his hands down that time, never thinking that Zeke would give it to him. Oh, yes.
Magic to David Robinson. That's the picture play of the game.
See, he's done that a number of times today. He gives you those 3 moves while he's in the air and then comes back to his initial look.
And his first assist of this All-Star game. How about this one? Thomas through the legs of a defender to Michael Jordan.
How about the bounce pass through 3 guys?
Worthy. Here's Olajuwon. Jordan blocks him from behind. Hakeem can't believe it. He stripped him from behind. Michael. Four minutes gone by in the third quarter. 4 great plays in this one as the East maintains possession with 10 seconds to go here.
Check this ball. Check the bounce now by Isaiah. There it goes. Right through legs. A fantastic backdoor move by Michael Jordan. Now, how about this block coming from the opposite side by Jordan?
Only 5 players in the league have averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds. And you're looking at one of them on the free throw line right here. Only 1 for 10 from the field, has struggled. Yet, as Ewing mentioned, had 9 rebounds at halftime.
Got to give all that credit, though, for the 1 for 9 to Patrick Ewing. He has challenged every single shot opportunity.
Barkley given the shot by Olajuwon. Rebound is by Magic. An 18-point lead for the Eastern All-Stars. Their biggest lead. All right. Sort of a rebound off of Ewing. Thomas. Commissioner David Stern cheering Michael Jordan's acrobatics. And the shot by Magic Johnson from Olajuwon. Magic has 22 points. He is the game-high scorer. Larry Bird buries it. Right now, the East with their 20-point lead, matching their biggest lead of the game. Scoring and pace picking up. Rolando Blackman gets 2. Blackman with 9 off the bench.
You know, we're looking at it. You take this Western team right now with David Robinson and Olajuwon out on the floor. And it's interesting that the East has been able to pick it apart and not get hurt at the offensive end of the floor.
Ewing blocks his 4th shot of the game, 5th shot of the game by David Robinson. And Robinson follows up on the turnover. Good point. You know, everyone thinks you just throw the ball out, and Pat Riley and Bill Burke of the West Lakers said, you know, that's not the case. We want to have some organization because we don't want these guys to embarrass themselves. Want to have an idea of what's going on. Bird. There's Robinson.
Well, when you go for the coaching in this kind of a game, you want everybody to have fun. You want them to entertain, but you also want to win the game.
Worthy short. West just can't make shots. They've had a lot of opportunities. Behind the back. Thomas tried to deke out David Robinson. Act like he wasn't going to shoot, and there he was. 5.5 to go in the 3rd. Blackman. He's been a hot man. Remember, he only joined the squad when Karl Malone couldn't play, and he has 11 points.
Magic is giving us a lot of looks today. He gives you the first fake, the second fake, and then we'll deliver the best.
Here's Ewing from outside. Here's Magic on the run. See, he knows what this All-Star game means more than any other, I think. Akeem. Blocked by Barkley. Barkley blocks Akeem. Only 6'4.5". He did it.
Yes, yes.
And the extra pass by Bird to Ewing. This crowd's loving it.
Chuck Daly is loving it. What a great pass by Larry Bird.
Some of the greatest expressions are on the bench with some of the players not in the game. They're loving it. Worthy misses a left-handed shot. The lead is 18, and Thomas gives it a 3-point basket, and the biggest lead of the game opened up by the Eastern All-Stars, 89-68, and timeout called by the West.
And here we come. Watch now. Watch Bird give it right back. He saw Patrick coming down the lane. Now Larry Bird had a layup unselfishly. Now watch the block. This is a monster block on a monster player. Charles Barkley.
In career assist leadership, Magic Johnson has 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 titles in the 80s. 5 times a world champion in that decade. That's half the decade.
You know what he said? He said, I like passing and I like making great passes, except I also like winning.
I think that's, doesn't he now? Yeah. Chambers misses. Joe Dumars back in the game with Reggie Miller. New faces on both squads. Parish and McHale, two of the Celtics, and Joe Dumars has hit a three-point basket. Barkley on the bench with 12. He's the leading scorer for the East. John Stockton in the backcourt with Drexler, David Robinson, Blackman.
David Robinson from Chambers.
And Chambers, so two members of the Phoenix Suns.
You know, this guy with the ball is 2 for 2 and 3, so Dumars.
Parish, 10 points in the first half. Double team. Pass goes behind, and a backcourt violation will turn it over to the West. So Stockton and Blackman are in the backcourt. Drexler playing a forward position. Now that Blackman leaves, Lever will come back in. So they're using Clyde Drexler up front with Robinson and Chambers, the West team. Dumars has Reggie Miller in the backcourt, and Wilkins, Parish, and McHale up front, although Wilkins also plays guard. Drexler trying to drive the baseline. They'll call Dominique with the foul.
Foul's called on Dominique Wilkins. His first.
3:27 remaining. We're in the third quarter. 91-70, the biggest lead of the game with 23 points just a moment ago. And Parish will get hit by a foul here. You know, earlier they ruled the three-point basket was changed to a two-point basket by Isaiah Thomas. Chambers scoops it in. I know you've already talked about what Chambers means, and I know that when you talk about players, you say a lot more about Chambers. I think he impresses you a lot more than the other.
Well, I think he is the real catalyst behind what they've done in the Phoenix Suns in the last 2 years. They know that he can get you 35 or 40 in any big game and do it in a limited amount of shots.
McHale finally converts. Lead is 21. Chambers firing for three. And Reggie Miller said, I just want to score one basket so someday I can tell my kids I did that at an All-Star game.
Yeah, but he's going to be in a few more All-Star games after this one.
I'm sure of that. 2.5 to play in the third quarter.
Go, Joe! Go, Joe! Well, the play is called on John Stockton.
Well, in the Atlantic Division, the New York Knicks have a 2-game lead. The surprise team, without question, the Philadelphia 76ers. Boston, with Bird back this year, a game behind Philly, and then the have-nots follow. What about the Knicks? How good can they be? How far can they go? And Philadelphia here, too.
Well, I think with the Knicks, they have the best shot at winning this division. I know Philadelphia is on their heels. Boston is going out on a brutal 8-game West Coast trip with everyone having winning records. But the Knicks' big thing is going to be what's going to happen with Kiki Vandeweghe in this next week of practice, and see if he can make a contribution in the second half of the year.
Lafayette Lever with Miller in his face, in and out. Just hasn't dropped for the West whenever they've had the opportunity. Wilkins can't save it. And the other thing, of course, recently there was a story. Rod Strickland said he wanted to be traded. He and Mark Jackson, the dual point guards. But, you know, the Knicks aren't going to make a deal just because a guy wants to be traded, because they've got something going there.
No, but, you know, he came back in next few ball games, made an excellent contribution, played 28, 29 minutes, and that's what it's all about. They have the luxury of two excellent point guards in Mark Jackson and Rod Strickland. Why should they give one up?
Right. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Yes.
And you said yes because you saw Drexler under the hoop, and Stockton knows how to get him the ball.
Well, he has such outstanding court vision. You know, you just don't win that Good Hands Award for assists and steals minus turnovers unless you have a complete game and a great game of vision.
Kevin McHale hits from outside. He has 11 points. Barkley with 12 is a leading scorer, and a whole host of players right around that total for the East. Tom Chambers comes in now, and he's got 12 points. Magic with 22 is the leading scorer for the Western Stars. He's on the bench right now.
That was a beautiful pass by Clyde Drexler.
Robinson on Dumar's errant pass. Stockton.
Yes.
To his teammate. It's always good to have your teammates. And speaking of teammates, you're looking at 3 Lakers on the bench enjoying it.
Well, you know, when you have the great point guards that are unselfish, you love to watch them in the open floor because they make the easy pass.
Wilkins draws the foul.
You'll see now that they're going to come out of this with a fast break opportunity. Now watch Stockton's head. See, he picked up Chambers right away, and he just looked off the defense by continuing to put his head to the left side of the floor because he knew he had Chambers running hard to his right.
Dominique Wilkins. What about the Atlanta Hawks? They have to be considered one of the disappointments thus far.
Well, they have to, but then again, you must remember they've lost Doc Rivers, their outstanding point guard, the other starting guard, John Battle. They've lost contact with the knee surgery, a 7-foot starter at big forward for them for a while. You know, these things take their toll because the old story is people underestimate the value of playing with good guards when you have outstanding talent up front.
Chambers will go to the line, and the third foul against McHale. Ewing and McHale each have 3. There's a colorful array of warm-up jackets as we look along the East bench. You know, one of the great things, of course, are the colors. And you know, in the game they wear set all-star uniforms, but when they come out for the warm-ups, they wear their own teams, and it's great to see the Kelly green and the red and the blue and the white of the Pistons. Chambers looking for his 16th point of the game, and he's got it. 98-80, an 18-point lead with just about a half a minute remaining in this third quarter. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown, along with Pat O'Brien and Leslie Visser. Hope you're enjoying this All-Star game. Parish couldn't handle the behind the back from Dumars.
Yeah, Chief wanted that one. He just apologized to Joe running down the floor. He said, oh, he just grimaced.
Drexler in 3-point territory. Hits it.
By Drexler for 3.
In the fourth quarter, you're going to see the guys on the court who have played the best. And you know, for Pat Riley, he wants to make a run. He still feels he's got a shot at doing it. And in a game like this, you can. 5 seconds to go. Wilkins.
Nice.
In the air, hits the bucket. Dominique Wilkins. He's got 11 points. 6 players in double figures for the East. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The East 100 and the West 83. And we'll return to the 40th annual lineups for the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan will start this on the bench. Jordan has scored 11 points. Lafayette Lever and Kevin Johnson with the ball in the backcourt for the West. Up front, it's Tom Chambers, David Robinson, and Chris Mullen. David Robinson. 15 points for the rookie from San Antonio. He's having a fine rookie all-star affair. Talk about a guy who's going to be a perennial. Reggie Miller comes right back. Reggie Miller. Dumars and Miller at guard. McHale, Parish, and Wilkins. Good defense by the East. Lever gets through inside. Little overplay, though.
Now, that's Fat Lever at his best. He's outstanding once he gets down into that lane area. Challenges all the big people.
Dominique. Rebound, Lever. There's a 6'3" guy who gets a whole host of rebounds. Chambers finds room, goes to the basket, gets the foul. They know he's coming. He scores and also gets hit.
Yeah, but you know, an awful lot of people can't tell whether Tom Chambers is left-handed or right-handed on the break because he dribbles with either hand, he shoots with either hand, and he's a contortionist at 6'10". He gets in there, degree of difficulty very high on the majority of his shots.
That's the 4th personal foul on Kevin McHale. And the 3-point play cuts the lead to 12. That's the closest the West has come here in the third quarter. They had it down to 10 earlier in the game. Biggest lead was 23 for the East. They have an 11-game edge in the series. McHale's ball doesn't drop with a rebound by David Robinson. Chance to cut it down to 10. Lever does, and a 10-point game. 102-92.
You can see it now. The West bench, everybody's a little excited. But all-star games, peaks and valleys, highs and lows. This unit doing an excellent job in bringing them back.
Don't forget, you got 3 Lakers waiting there on the bench when Riley needs them. Parish. Amazing. He didn't have total control, but gets that ball up anyway. Chris Mullen. Parish clears it. 2 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. The lead is 12 for the East. Next year's game will be played in Charlotte. Charlotte, like Miami, 2 of the 4 expansion entries. Dominique Wilkins goes baseline. Every time the West makes a game of it, the East comes back strong with a couple of baskets, and traveling called against Tom Chambers, no hoop.
Tough call. Tommy really down on that one. Got blasted right in the eye.
We're in the 4th quarter. The East has led virtually all the way. The West had a early lead. Biggest lead was 5 at 7-2, and then the West just took over. The East has, and the West has made a couple of runs. Dumars misses. The rebound inside by Blackman, and he loses it to Mullen. West has come back a few times, cut the lead to 12 or 10. That's all. Mullen runs into a stone wall, and now the East again.
Well, you know, they're forcing up an awful lot of bad shots right now. And when you close the gap like that in the game, what you're trying to do is get a high percentage shot.
Parish over David Robinson. Robert Parish with 14 points, and he is the leading scorer for the East Stars. They have 6 men in double figures. West has 4, led by Magic's 22. Main thing you want, for both coaches will tell you, everyone to play, and then you want to go with the hot hands. And Chambers has been one. He has 21 points, one behind Magic's total.
Chambers and the Chief, Robert Parish, are both putting together very quietly very, very big numbers there.
And now with 4 minutes gone by, the letters MVP have to start to loom a little bit. Got a long way to go. Kevin Johnson scores, and so there's only one player in the game who has yet to score, and that's A.C. Green. There you're looking at the leading scores. 108-96, the lead is 12. Still plenty of time for the West to come back.
They're playing a little 3-man now, one side of floor, so that McHale can post up.
Robinson wins the fight over Parish this time for the rebound. They can cut it to 10. Lever for 2, and he's got it, and it's a 10-point game again, 108-98. And we're going to see Magic Johnson and Hakeem Olajuwon check back in shortly for the Western All-Stars. West won last year.
Robert Parish was determined to pick Kevin Johnson. It was like at the rodeo where he used the lasso, right? Watch Parish setting a pick here right now, and now he's grabbing Kevin Johnson to post them up. He's smelling a deuce, and Kevin Johnson says, Chief, you're not going to get a pass.
Because I got your arm. So Olajuwon and Magic come in. And Michael Jordan gets a rise out of the crowd as he gets off the Eastern bench. Dennis Rodman. The Parish will call the jump ball. They held him inside and got the ball. Michael Jordan will replace Joe Dumars. By the way, those two who really never talked before really got to know each other this weekend. Their lockers are right next to each other in the East dressing room. Connie Hawkins was ahead of his time, the creator of the high-flying act. He sees Michael Jordan's skills and marvels at the spectacle.
Michael Jordan, when you watch him play, I think you can admire his game. But it says, do you understand it? I don't think people understand it yet. And then I also think I don't know how good he's going to become because he's getting better and better. Everybody's talking about guys that dunk the ball. To me, I think it's important if you can dunk during a half-court game. And I've seen him dunk against 7-footers, and to do that, you have to be a sensational player. It looks like he's enjoying himself, and I think that's the most thing, the best admiration I can say about him, that he enjoys playing basketball.
You know, he'll be in a guy, you know, Connie Hawkins, you know, you were in the ABA, and Hawkins was a part of the first championship team, the Pittsburgh Pipers. And what a guy before his time, had so many skills.
He dominated the league at that time, and then when he came into the NBA, he made the first team All-NBA when he was playing for Phoenix with Cotton Fitzsimmons as the coach. You know, it's just a shame that he only played in the NBA for 9 years. and he put together the stats that he did. But he was really the first of the high wire racks that held the basketball like it was a baseball in his hand.
that he did. 10-point game. Michael Jordan in there, misses the shot out of bounds. It's still going to be East ball. By the way, Jordan is averaging 21.5 in the All-Star game, and that's the highest average of anyone.
You know what I liked about the comment by Hawkins? That Michael's ability to dunk in the half-court game. That is so difficult to do.
Yeah, in traffic.
Yes, indeed.
McHale. He has hit a big shot every time the West has made a run. Kevin with 13 points. 110-98. Plenty of time left in this one. Here's Magic left wide open. Mullen. Olajuwon tapped it out to Chris. Jordan clears. The West had a couple of chances there, but the East, you know, the East have outdunked the West 11-6. That should be a stat in the All-Star game, dunks.
The West just having difficulty all 4 quarters with the open jump shot.
Kale turn around. Olajuwon, the rebound out. And now Fat Lever. Magic behind the Mullen. Kevin Johnson made a great play, but they come up empty. With halfway through this 4th quarter, the 40th All-Star game here in Miami. Michael Jordan, he's going more to the 3-point basket, although he came up empty yesterday. He's got 13 points in this game. Here's Lever. Hakeem in traffic. Great move.
Terrific hesitation. Allowed Parish and Rodman to commit themselves for the block. Took his time. But, you know, it just seems that every time the West misses an easy opportunity, the East makes a pay for it.
Michael Jordan, he may be on an MVP run of his own right now. A couple of years ago in Chicago, scored 40 points. Now, the question of who's the star of stars starts to enter the picture of this game. Lever is fouled going baseline and is not going to be an easy decision for sure.
As you pick up this replay, now watch how Michael Jordan comes down in. Now he's being defended by a good Kevin Johnson. And then the little spin move and how easily he came out of it for the shot. Now here we have 2 guys right now. Neither one of them wants to fall on the other. They're having a little chat saying, do we have a shot here? What do you think, Magic?
Rolando Blackman replaces Kevin Johnson. And Michael Jordan now with 15 points is moved in front as the Eastern scoring leader.
For years, this player on the line is never gets his due. And I'm talking on a national level. Here's a fellow who's only like 6'2" legitimately. He averages over 8 rebounds, and some years 9 rebounds. There are many centers and big forwards in this league who do not average this. And then he gets you to 20-some-odd points and makes the big plays.
Bird shadowed by Clyde Drexler. Barkley gets the rebound. Here's Magic, 3-on-1, leaves it for Olajuwon. Blackman finally scores. But on balance, you'd have to say that the East All-Stars, the lead is cut to 10, really has played better than the West as a team. Offensive rebound, loose balls, things like that.
Shh, we still have 4 minutes here.
Well, but they have to this point, is what I mean. Here's Ewing going across the lane. Ewing now in double figures.
On that extension of that shot, it looked like he was shooting down.
Ewing might have gotten a piece of that one. Drexler. Lever for 3. Drexler of the Trailblazers. Magic has hit 4 3-point baskets. Olajuwon is fouled by Patrick Ewing going in.
Dick, very quietly, Clyde Drexler has beaten a number of people off the dribble here today, and instead of forcing the shot, he has dropped off some very, very nice passes to people. No pizzazz, no flash, just meat and potatoes.
Olajuwon leading the NBA in rebounding and block shots. He's had a fine rebounding game today. Makes 1 out of 2. He has 13 rebounds today. Well, if you're looking at possible MVPs, you're thinking about who's done what. Michael Jordan with 17 points and 5 steals has to be a candidate. Robert Parish with 14. He's on the bench right now. And Ewing with 10 points and 5 block shots. Laid up and in by Lafayette Lever. The West with 2 prime candidates in Magic Johnson and Tom Chambers, but they're trailing. But they're down by only 9 now as we get down to 3 minutes to go in this game. Thomas, who's just come in the game, misses the rebound by Olajuwon. And he overthrows Rolando Blackman.
West calls timeout.
Timeout with 2:56 remaining. Plenty of time, only 9. There's Dave Bing, Bing Steel Company. Boy, he's made a lot of his life after basketball.
One of the premier greats out of your alma mater, Syracuse. 12 years in the league, 20 points plus a year.
He was the first of the greats on the Syracuse campus, that's for sure. Barkley blocked by Magic Johnson. Bird takes it away from Lever.
Oh, yes!
What a great sequence there. Ewing gets the basket. Terrific sequence. Blackman hits a 3. No, a 2-point basket now. They said that he was in front of the line. 118-109 with 2:20 to go. Barkley gets the bucket. Charles Barkley now with 14 points.
Not only did Charles shoot that over his man, but he had Olajuwon coming and extending, looking for a big block.
2 minutes remaining in the 40th All-Star game. 120-109, the East leading. Blackman. That would have been a 2. He was in front of the line again.
One of the few shots that he's missed.
Bird. This is a 3, and now the West coming back. They may have to be in a position to go for 3-point shots soon, but they won't afford the turnover, and the East maintains their control and poise in this one. What about MVP? Who comes to mind right now as candidates?
Well, I think when we look at the Eastern team, we have Parish, we have Ewing.
How about that guy?
Oh, well, why not? I mean, he's a candidate anytime, any night, in any arena.
Got 19. Magic.
See this guy who's jumping all over the place is number 3. I mean, he doesn't have points, but he has rebounds, intimidation, blocks, great defensive plays. He's really playing a terrific game today.
I think he set the tone early.
Yes, he did. He went right after Olajuwon.
Drexler is fouled by Ewing.
Let's appreciate this. This is really beautiful. You had the shot block. Watch Bird drop it off here. Now you'll see we have a little scramble. Larry picks it up. Great pass. Now watch Ewing. Here he comes. There it is. Just cleaning up around here today, this guy Patrick Ewing.
12 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 block shots. Those are pretty tough numbers.
Like we say, there are other facets of this game other than points.
Right. No, Ewing has proved that today. Bird behind Jordan. Thomas for a 3. At the buzzer it goes.
It's only fitting that the East should end the game with that kind of a shot. It's the way they've played all day, making the extra pass and then hitting the big one.
The rebound by Olajuwon. He's planning to play a lot of minutes. Lever from the corner, but it's academic now as far as the final result. Hakeem with 16 rebounds, but the East came out with a 17-point lead after 1 quarter. Up to 13 at the half and raised it to 17 again after 3. The game is over. And Barkley hits it at the buzzer and it counts. That is the way to end an All-Star game. It's over, and it was indeed a terrific show. The Eastern All-Stars have won it 130 to 113, and even a losing coach can force a smile. And maybe Pat Riley needs a domed arena to win an All-Star game.
Here we have Charles milking the clock. He's watching it up there, seeing it time down on the release.
What do they say? Cross the T and dot the I's.
Barkley wound up with 17. Jordan led the East with 19. For the West, Magic 22, Tom Chambers 21. And a spectacular finish to a spectacular show, as it always is. And the players head to their dressing room. And question is, who will be named the most valuable player of this game and go down in history? We'll be back to find out who the MVP is as the East beats the West 130 to 113.
I never thought that I would win it. So many great players, so many guys had excellent games, and I think that I'm just here. I was here to have a good time, to try to give the fans a show, and I think we all did that. But for me to win it, this is like a dream come true, and I'd just like to thank everybody who voted for me.
Now, I know you inside, you are burning because you lost the game.
Definitely that. They got out on us on a 20-point lead, and it was hard to come back, but we made a run of it at the end, and they got a couple offensive rebounds to put the game away. But sometimes it's not about winning, because a game like this, just to be here, you won. And I think that everybody, the fans, it's a great weekend. Miami, they did a beautiful job. The city of Miami just really went all out. And I think that we all had a good time, and that was the most important thing. And I hope that all the kids here in Miami got a chance to see their favorite hero or their favorite star, and that they can grow up to be the next Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, or whoever they want to be in this game.
Anything you want to say to your parents who are behind you here?
Well, you know, everything I do, I always dedicate to them, because without them, I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be the man or the person that I am. So to my mom, I guess this is yours. You are my MVP, and I love you.
What do you think of that?
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I just love it. Just love it.
You taught him basketball. You did a pretty good job, sir.
I can't take that credit.
All right, thank you very much, Magic. Congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Magic Johnson is this year's MVP of the 40th annual NBA All-Star Game. Let's go back to Dick Stockton.
All right, thank you very much. And the last time a player from a losing team was named MVP of an All-Star Game 10 years ago, George Gervin won that honor. We'll be back.